Hey viewers, welcome back to the channel. I got a messy project I've been working on for a couple days. Let's see if you can figure out what's going on. You know what this is for? Well, if you guessed grinding concrete, you would be correct. I've got this leveling product I'm going to be using. I want to just show you the floor. Whoever poured this concrete did a terrible job. There's just all kinds of fan ripples you can see, and I've been grinding hitting the high spots. There's joints. It looks like in here at one time the house probably had a septic system, and then they put in a public sewer, so they cut a trench for the waste pipe. But as you can see, wear and tear, lost some paint along the way, but places like over here, there was really high ridges, and it made it very difficult sometimes to swing these wheels to get over those ridges. So I used the grinder, 2 vacuum systems to try to cut down on the amount of dust. Used a respirator, and I'm going to mix up some of this leveling compound. It only says how much water to add to an entire bag. I don't know what the ratio is, so I'm going to have to guess at that. And let's get started. So for this 40-pound bag, it says to add 5 quarts of water. And what I'm going to do is just kind of experiment with this. Since it's a 5-to-1 ratio, I've marked 3-inch increments. So there's 5 increments here. I'm going to take 1/5 of the product and put that aside, and we'll mix 1 quart with that 1/5 of a bag. So we'll be right back after we've done that. Okay, we have our proportions. We'll add our water. We'll start to add this and mix. So we'll mix this for a few minutes and come back. First time using this product, so we'll see how it goes. Just pour some of this out. You can see it's starting to flow. They say you can do up to as little as a 1/16 of an inch for your edge. Move this back a little bit. Seems to be leveling pretty good. So yeah, we'll keep going. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, it seems to be working pretty good. Sometimes it looks a little watery at some places, but it'll be a lot better than what the floor used to be. Well, it's been 2 days, so let me show you where I'm at. I did part of the floor first day and another part on the second day. And I noticed this was day one. The mix at the top of the bag seemed a little different than the mix that I was using on day two, which was closer to the middle of the bag. And in the mixing process, it seemed like a lot of the sandy material was falling to the bottom of the bucket. And the texture got to be rougher where the sand is, as opposed to where more of the mortar is. But since it's a basement and just a work area, I think we should be good. What we're going to do now is start to apply some paint. And once this area dries, we'll be moving all that stuff over here. I always like to have a brush handy to clean up the lip of the paint. Makes a little less of a mess. First thing I'd like to do is cut in along the corners. And I can come back with the roller to do the main part of the floor. All right, that'll about do it. We'll see how well the first coat covers once it's dry. It is about 5 hours later. The floor is dry, but you can kind of see where the patch material was put down as opposed to other areas that didn't have the leveling material. And it does look a little splotchy. So, give it another coat of paint, see what that looks like. Let's talk about some things I've learned about the Henry 740 RapidPro product. When you're troweling, if you have any product that's left, if it's not smoothed out, you're going to get these ridgy areas. So to combat that, if you're just dealing with small patch areas, you might just want to go over the edge of your pour with your fingers and just kind of smooth that out. Second thing, you notice that there's a coloration issue. The edges, which are thinner, will dry to a grayish color, and the areas in the middle where your pour is deeper, it's going to be of a whiter finish. For my project, where I had some of the edges that I didn't feather out with my fingers, I went back and just hit it with an angle grinder. Here's an example where you can see where the flow, this was an 1/8 to 3/16 deep fill area, and the top of the water, that kind of ran down this way, and it left a path, and I just kind of smoothed that out this way. But I wouldn't be too concerned about the color variations. It's not like that's a soft or powdery finish. One thing I do want to mention is the directions only talk about mixing up an entire bag and then pouring that on your floor and proceeding to level it out. But what happens when you're just using a portion of the bag? Well, what I found out was, let's say on the first pour, I added a proportionate amount of water to the mix, poured it on the floor, started working it, and everything went pretty good for that first pour because I dumped most of it out within 2 minutes. What happened on the second pour was when I started to work the mix, by the time I was ready to finish out that bucket, a lot of the sand had already settled to the bottom of the bucket and it didn't spread as nicely. And I'm banging the bucket trying to get all that grout and sand out of the bucket. So keep that in mind. Mix it, mix it, mix it. If your pour time is not going to happen immediately, just mix it before every little subsequent pour. Well, I hope this product review may have helped you in some small way. If it did, I'd appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. Hit the like and subscribe button for more videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.